I can't sing. It's May. Cheers to the coffee in the morning and you guys. Anyway, I just had to play that because it's May and it is May 3rd today. I just wanted to give you guys a little kind of life update because as you guys know, I have other goals besides just my prep and competing this year. As one of those number one goals this year is to get the tattoo on my neck removed, and I just went yesterday for my second full session at this location. I've been getting it removed off and on for years, but I'm committed to having it gone this year, hopefully before I compete in October. But I just had my second session yesterday and it is pissed. I don't know if you can see. Oh my god, it is so pissed. But she started the treatments and she's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna tone this down because it was like basically the ink was just shattering instantly. So that's a good sign. That means it's gonna have good progress, but it's just really, really irritated today. So whatever, no big deal. I'm just really excited that I am moving along with that. And then let's see what else. Oh, update on prep. I had my check-in yesterday with my coach, and literally all last week, my weight was 120.8 every single day. It did not budge. Even the decimal didn't budge. So that was kind of weird and frustrating at the same time. I'm not gonna lie though, I have had a little bit of extra food that I wasn't supposed to have. I had some rice cakes, extra rice cakes that I wasn't supposed to have, and I told my coach about it and he was just like, look, you can't do this shit, basically. So we added some cardio, and what we are starting with for me is 2 HIIT sessions, which is high intensity interval training. So I'm not just gonna be on the treadmill or the Stairmaster or the bike for like 20 minutes. I'm doing, like sprints of like 15 seconds, all out sprints, and then I'll do a slow, steady pace for a little bit, and then I'll do sprints again. So I'm doing that twice a week. I did my first session last night on the spin bike and it was really great. I did weigh a little bit less today, but that's just gonna take time. So anyway, that's how that is. I'm really gonna try and just keep my training at a really high intensity, even though I am feeling more hungry lately. But yeah, like it's not super difficult yet. Like mentally, I would say it's harder than it is physically. I've just been wanting to eat more food than I'm supposed to have. And I've been beating myself up about cheating, so to speak. Because I don't want to not do well on my show later this year and then look back to that one instance where I had that little bit of extra food and say, that's why I didn't win, or, you know, whatever. It's not a good road to go down, and I'm the kind of person where I will mentally do that. So I'm just gonna have to suck it up and deal with being hungry, basically, because you know that's what this is about, is pushing yourself. So that is what I'm gonna be doing. My voice sounds kind of hoarse today, which is weird. But I was talking to someone this week, and this kind of sparked my idea for this week's video, which is gonna be kind of myths in the fitness and health industry. Like the biggest myths that I've dealt with and other people around me have kind of come to me and been like, hey, is this true, is this not true, kind of thing. So I just wanted to touch on that, and yeah, let's get to it. I don't know how many there are. I went through and looked at so many and I was like, oh yeah, that's a big one, that's a big one. So there's just a few here. And I will start with number 1, spot reducing fat. So when someone says, I want to lose fat in my arms, or I want to lose fat just around my stomach, I want my stomach to be flatter. Okay, you cannot spot reduce fat ever, never, ever, ever. It's not gonna happen. Your body doesn't work that way. Your body burns fat and stores fat in certain areas based on your genetic makeup, basically. So working out, obviously, any kind of working out can reduce your overall body fat, but you can't control where it burns fat. Kind of like, you can't say, I just want to lose some fat on my arms and expect to just do arm exercises, and that the fat's not gonna go away there. You might tone the muscle a little bit more by lifting weights and growing that muscle, but you're definitely not just gonna lose fat in whatever area you want to. And I did a little bit of research on this, and I'm just gonna read this straight from, I will put where I got all of this stuff in the description box, all the websites and different articles that I read based on the research. So in a study published in Journal of Strength and Conditioning, 11 people completed a 12-week exercise program to train a single leg. Even though they only trained on one side, they lost the same amount of body fat in each leg and burned even more body fat above the waist. So even though people only trained one area of their body, they didn't even lose more fat in that area, and they actually burned more fat in a completely different area. So spot reducing fat is just not possible. You're just gonna have to stay consistent with what you're doing, and it'll start to show in different areas over different times. So that's why I just say stay consistent with what you're doing. Okay, number 2, carbs after dark, carbs after 6 o'clock, carbs after whatever PM. That is fucking bullshit. I hate that so much. If you are on a diet that says you can't have carbs after a certain time, you need to throw that diet in the trash and run the opposite way, because it is bullshit. It's not gonna work. It's not sustainable. Like, yeah, if you don't eat carbs after a certain time for a short amount of time, you might lose some weight, but long term that's not sustainable, and your body doesn't even work that way. So there are so many articles I read about this, and I'll just link a few of them below. But basically, the way our bodies, our metabolism, a lot of people think that your metabolism slows down when you go to sleep, so you don't want to eat carbs because then it's just going to be transferred right into fat. That's not true. Actually, when you sleep, research has shown that your insulin, your resting heart rate and your resting metabolism rate actually rises. So you're actually burning more calories at a steady state than if you were just sitting around and doing nothing. Like I said, this is just what research has shown more recently. And so eating carbs at night is not going to turn you into fat. I also read another research article that was really, really in depth. In another country, they had 2 different study groups where one group ate they both had the same amount of food. One group ate 80% of their carbs as their last meal before they went to bed, and the other group ate all of their carbs dispersed through the day. So they all had the same amount. The group that ended up eating 80% of their carbs at night lost more weight over the 12 weeks. They also had they felt more satisfied throughout the day. But I will say carbs after dark, not eating carbs after dark is stupid. Stupid, I promise you. I eat a lot of carbs at night and it's worked out for me. So that's kind of bro-science-y. I don't mean to say it like that, but I'm just saying it's bullshit. Okay, I'm kind of rambling. It's been 10 minutes. Next, if you're not sore the next day, you didn't train hard enough. That's not true. Soreness is actually a chemical response in the body to inflammation in whatever part of soreness you are. So like if your legs are really sore, they're inflamed, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either, but it doesn't mean that you worked harder because you're sore. Or if you're not sore after like a new PR, personal record, or a new like really high weight, if you're not sore the next day, you didn't work hard enough. That's not true. You actually probably worked just as hard as your body needed to expend that energy without possible injury or inflammation. And you don't have to get sore to build muscle mass or strength. If you just stay consistent over time, those things will happen even if you never get sore at all. I promise you. I mean, I've gotten sore, and some people thrive on that. They're like, oh yes, I got a really good soreness. I had a killer workout. But you can still have a really killer workout and not be sore the next day. Most of the time now, I don't get sore anymore, and sometimes I get frustrated. And then after I read these articles, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I don't have to get sore to still have a great workout. Okay, another one is the more sweat you produce, the more fat you're losing. What? Fat and sweat are totally opposite. Totally opposite. Sweating has no reflection on how much fat you're burning. Different people sweat at different rates. Like, I barely sweat at all. That doesn't mean I'm not working hard. Sweating is literally your body's way of cooling itself off, and that's it. Fat's oxidized through the body and not evaporated through sweat, so those two have nothing to do with each other. I know it feels good to sweat and you feel, it's kind of like a mind game thing, but just because you're not sweating doesn't mean you're not working hard. But at the same time, don't feel like not sweating, you're working hard enough kind of thing. Like, oh, I don't have to sweat. Like, you should push yourself to your absolute limit if you're wanting to make a change in your body. But if you don't sweat a lot, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Next, And I used to feel this way too. When I first started lifting weights, I would tell people, well, I don't want to get bulky, or I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to be muscular. If I could go back in time and just like punch myself in the face, I would, because that's silly. And I feel like a lot of people in the fitness industry have kind of like gotten away from this, which is good, but at the same time, it's still really frowned upon for women to lift heavy weights. But let me just say, if you are a natural athlete, you're not taking any steroids, you will never look manly or unnatural as a woman. Women have different hormones than men, which means you literally will not look like a man unless you are taking steroids and drugs with hormones in them with male genetic hormones. Okay, so lifting weights actually, I feel like, makes women look better. It gives you all the curves in the right places that you want. Like, you can make your hips as big as you want, you know, by lifting weights. You can make your arms as toned as you want. Like, I'm gonna link a picture below of my arms before I started working out, and then maybe like a few months ago. And that used to be my biggest thing, was like, oh, I don't wanna look manly and muscular and like, ugh. Obviously, if you're flexing, your muscles are gonna pop out and look bigger. But like when you're just standing there all day, my arms don't look I mean, they look muscular now because I'm going to an extreme, but they don't look manly. And like when I wear nice clothes like dresses and stuff, I feel so much more confident than I used to. Like, the best way I can describe myself before is just a blob. And when I link the picture in this video, I'll just put it like somewhere over here, you'll see what I mean. Like, my arm is just literally a blob, and then now it's like nice and toned and firm, and it just looks nice. So if you're a natural athlete and you're never gonna take steroids, you will never look like a man from lifting weights. And I promise you, lifting as heavy as possible is gonna be your best bet. It's gonna burn more calories. The more muscle mass you have, the more calories your body burns, which means more fat loss. So anyway, those are just my myths debunked for today. And I just wanted to wish you guys a happy Wednesday. My schedule just changed, so I'm off for 4 days in a row now, and I'm so excited that I get to spend more time doing just the things that I love, without kind of like an interruption in between, because I used to go to work, I'd be off on Tuesdays, I'd go to work on Wednesdays, I'd be off Thursday, whatever. So now I'm just off for 4 days in a row, and it gives me time to do more of what I enjoy, and kind of chase my dreams. So I'm really happy about that. It's gonna be a beautiful day here in Washington. It's gonna be in like the 70s, so I'm really excited for that. I'm gonna go do some furniture shopping. I have an extra bedroom in my house now, and I'm gonna turn it into my personal massage room, just for like friends and anyone that wants a massage. So I'm gonna go like furniture shopping and get some stuff, so I'm really excited. Today's gonna be nice and relaxing. Anyway, I will get this video up before Friday. Thank you guys for watching. Maybe I'll include some of my workout today, but it's a leg day, so probably not, because that's all I ever seem to record for YouTube. So yeah, I just wanted to share some of that stuff with you guys. And if you have any questions about other things that you're not sure if it's right or wrong, you can always reach out to someone. Myself, if I don't know the answer, I can find it for you. I'm definitely not like a fitness guru. I literally just use the internet to research what I'm looking, and obviously you can't believe everything you read online. Like some of the stuff I was reading about carbs after dark, I was like, this is kind of iffy. I just know that it works for me, and it has worked for so many other people, because based on science, it's ridiculous that you can't have carbs after a certain time. Like, that's just literally silly, and the more scientific you look at things from a fitness standpoint, it's gonna lead you in the right direction. So anyway, that's it. I'll leave you guys to it. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I will see you guys later. Bye.